A West Auckland family battling to get modifications on their home to accommodate the needs of their disabled daughter say ACC is bullying them into accepting plans which will tear their family apart. 4-year-old Jeanette Queensell-Logan had a heart attack 2 years ago after doctors failed to properly treat her while she was at Starship Hospital. That's left her with limited mobility and communication and means her parents and family need extra space and equipment to care for her. But they say ACC is only willing to pay for extra space that's separated from their family home and will mean Jeanette is isolated from the rest of the family. Nita Blake-Person reports.
People in a couple of times. Yeah. And basically rental.
As Jeanette Queensell-Logan crawls across the deck at her Glen Eden home, a huge grin spreads across her face. Her parents Stephen and Mele smile and encourage her. It's movement like this they weren't sure she would ever have.
We actually brought her home on palliative care. They weren't expecting to live very long after the incident. And she's just gone from strength to strength. She's back to daycare 5 days a week, and which is really pushing her to develop where she's got to today. A lot of the stuff that she's doing at the moment, basically people said she would never do.
Janet, Alice.
Jeanette was born with a heart condition, but it was a series of failures by doctors at Starship Hospital that resulted in her having a heart attack and subsequent brain injury just before her 2nd birthday. Since then, Jeanette has been using a wheelchair and relearning how to move and communicate, milestones she had just started to reach before her brain injury. Her dad, Stephen, says she's making huge leaps in her recovery, but the accident has impacted the whole family.
It's been a very big struggle. We've had to readjust our whole lives around her, and looking after her full-time. It's basically a full-time job now, looking after her.
Because Jeanette's condition is the result of an accident, she has ACC funding to help cover her equipment and care costs. Her mum Mele says she needs to be looked after around the clock, and everyone pitches in to help, including her 4 older siblings.
For us, as Steve say, it's a teamwork. We can't survive, and I can't survive it because when he's away at work, I'm on my own. But all of them know what time for her feed, what time she needs her medicine. My older daughter gonna change her nappy, even help me to give her a bath and stuff. So that's how we roll in this busy little house.
There's 8 people living in this small 3-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, and with Jeanette's growing needs, it's a squeeze.
This is our room, so me and Mele and Jeanette as well as sleeps in here at night as well, and also changing on the bed and stuff like that. With the bathroom, it's not very big, as you'll see. You can touch both walls that way and that way as well. You know, it's not a big bathroom. So we'll bring Jeanette in here, basically lie her on the floor, and then basically get in on our hands and knees and lift her into the bath, and vice versa when we come back out.
Stephen Logan says they need space to properly care for Jeanette, space they don't have.
She needs her own room, bathroom, an area to be changed properly with, because we need hoists and stuff is the big thing.
ACC has agreed to pay for some modifications to the house, including a new bedroom for Jeanette, a room for her carer, an accessible bathroom and a storage area for her equipment. But under its proposed plans, that area would be built on top of a new garage, isolated from the house and separated by the deck.
This set of plans over here is what ACC want to do, and basically, as you can see, there's 2 completely separate buildings with a arch gola roof between the 2 of them, and no other sort of protection from the elements or anything like that.
Stephen Logan says that's not acceptable. The family instead wants the existing home extended so Jeanette is part of the family unit and doesn't have to venture outside during the cold and wet winter months.
If you were adding a room to your house, you wouldn't build another section on the side of it and put an arch gola in it. You would attach it to you would make it part of your house, and that's what we want to do. We want it as part of the house, not as a separate unit. It's more like a granny flat or something like that, you know. If you wanted a granny flat, you build it separate, but it's not. It's part of our house.
But ACC says those plans aren't related to Jeanette's injury needs and is refusing to pay for them. The two parties have been at an impasse for the past 14 months or so, and it's taking its toll.
The way we look at it is our family has been tried to be ripped apart through her separation from the family. It might be just across the deck, but it mustn't. In other words, she might as well be on the other side of town, you know. She's isolated from the rest of the family, and we're a family unit, and that's the big thing, you know. We're all about the family.
Stephen Logan says they don't have exact figures for how much the renovations will cost.
We've had numbers thrown out from ACC from 500,000 to 1.2 million to do the modifications. Our builder does think it's going to be around the sort of 600,000, maybe 700,000 mark because of where we are, and at the moment because of the building, it's not so much it's the cost of building in New Zealand at the moment is so high.
But they estimate the difference between the plans they want and those that ACC wants to be around $50,000 to $60,000. And he claims ACC is wasting money putting up a fight.
ACC's actually wasted more money so far through fighting us to do this job than what it would cost to do it.
ACC has paid for a van to transport Jeanette and equipment to help care for her. No one from the agency was available to be interviewed for this story, but in a statement reiterated that the Logan family would need to cover any modifications unrelated to Jeanette's injury. But Mele Logan says they won't have Jeanette isolated from her loved ones.
And we don't want to separate her. We don't want to create a stigma in her that she's going to feel later in life that she's a burden, you know. For me, she is part of our family and we want to be with her. I can see where they're coming from. She's not an adult yet. It's going to be how many years to go for her to be an adult? To separate us, you know, we work as a team. This is a team and this is a people with feelings. It's not, have to put it that way. And I don't want her to separate there to feel that you're no longer part of us. She's not a figure in numbers for us. And we're not only looking for her life in 5 years' time, because if we can't fight for her, no one does, and she can't.
And that was Mele Logan ending that report from Nita Blake Person.